Mamadidi has Ibrahim Osman posters on his bedroom. Welcome back to Where Blues Walk. What a performance against Leicester City, and whisper it quietly, but Birmingham City are only a couple of points outside the playoffs. Can we actually sneak in there? Hope you're doing well. We've got Jason and Paul is back this week, fresh back from St Andrews, the Fortress St Andrews, again with another 3 points against Leicester City. How you're doing, plus just how good is Ibrahim Osman? That's our focus for this week. Blues SKO Blues KRO says Ibrahim Osman supremacy. That's where we start this week's episode. Plus, also this week we're talking about, can Blues make the playoffs, or is it better for us to wait one more season to build this squad ready for the Premier League? Is it too soon for us to go up? Plus, we're also talking about who gets in on A to Z for letter O. Who, in terms of Valentines week, is the first Blues player you ever fell in love with? And how do we rate the transfer window overall? Lots to chew over this week, but how are we doing, Paul? You good?
Yeah, not bad. I think yesterday's performance always makes you feel a little bit bad, doesn't it? So
yeah, nice to put Leicester to the sword as well. Are you getting excited for Wembley yet? Or are you one of these fans that's going, no, let's not talk about that yet. Let's talk about
I always want a trip to Wembley, so it's very up and down. 1 week, I think I'm like most football fans, that it's all doom and gloom 1 week, and then it's the best thing ever the next week. So I think we've always just been within touching distance of the playoffs. So I think it's nice to put a little run together and scare a few teams that want us to sink down.
Yeah. So. Let's look at some social media tweets from that game. If you've only just come across the channel, drop us a quick sub and a quick like. If you can't squeeze an hour of Birmingham City podcast into your life, completely understandable. 20 minutes, though, if you can squeeze us in, that'd be absolutely great. Released every single Monday at 6 p.m. Right, Jason, nice, easy one for you this week. Kero says, Ozzy's a serious baller. Yeah, Man of the Match award. Another impressive performance from him.
Yeah, he was fantastic from the get-go, and he was fantastic right until the end. And I'm glad he got a full run out this weekend. And you know, for me as well, for him to put a performance like he did against no slack of a defender in Pereira, like that's a Premier League grade defender in Pereira, whether he's not at it or whatever it was yesterday. Sorry, that he's still a top defender and shouldn't be in the Championship. So you know what. Well done to Osman, and I'm glad that he's performing. So it just means we haven't got to rush Dimmy Gray back at all.
Yeah. You agree, Paul?
Yeah, 100%. I think he's direct. He just picks up the ball and he just thinks, I'm running at you. I'm gonna. And I think a lot of defenders in this league are going to be frightened of that all day long, because he's fast, he's strong. And then when he gets to the positions that he gets into, he looks like he can finish the chances as well.
Yeah. What have you made of the signings, Paul? I know you weren't here last week, but we were talking.
Well, so far,
last thing about John Solis and all of that. I mean, you look a different team, don't you?
Yeah, I think so far you can't. I don't think anyone can complain. I think Solis, like, I didn't know. I hadn't got a clue who he was. So when he come in, you look at him and you watch a few bits of him, and then last night I think he was, or yesterday afternoon he was quality. He's just, but his legs are 5 foot long, aren't they? So no one. Anytime you think somebody's got away from him, he sticks one of them big long legs out and pokes the ball away. And then anytime you think somebody's pressed him, he does a little shuffle and he's away. And he keeps it simple, passes it no more than a couple of yards, and then opens himself back up to receive it back. I think. What more can you want from somebody holding the midfield than what he's been doing so far?
Yeah, real quality player. Keep it quiet as well. Like those players that go under the radar as well. Joe Dodds says second half, Jason was so much better, but we should have put the game to bed a long time ago instead of him telling the players to hold on. The subs are also baffling, but we have a game on Tuesday, so understandably he wants to rest some legs. Yeah, do you agree with that?
I thought the first half, or towards the end of the first half, was a bit better. I thought start of the second half we were quite slow, but it just very much felt like a League One game. That's no disrespect to Leicester. It's the fact that they had 10 men and every one of them men were behind the ball. So it felt more like a League One game. It was a bit slow, but I think once we got that goal, it opened up a lot more. But to be fair, both us, we were pretty decent. We were good value for the win. To be fair, it probably should have been more than 2. On a different day, Vicente takes his chance. Marvin Dutch gets a goal, but just take the win. The subs at the time baffled me a little bit because I will hold my hands up. I was shouting for Stanfield to come off because I think he hasn't been his best. But that's also why I'm not a football manager, because his subs were perfect, to be fair to him. Tommy Doyle looked very good when he come on. Patrick Roberts was good. Even Samuel was decent when he come on. And he's been absolute tap prior to the AFCON. So, yeah, I'm not going to sit here and knock his subs because they worked and we ended up winning the game. And I'm on a different note, I'm really, really happy that Stanfield got that goal. He looked like he was about to cry when he scored.
Yeah, come on to that one in a minute. The Leicester fans, Paul said it was never a sending off. Any sympathies with him?
It's one of the tackles that I think by the law of the game, it's a sending off. It's a little bit out of control. He stood to showing it, but it's also, there's no intent, there's no malicious. He's just mistimed it. And I think for me, it's a rule that I'd like to see changed because, well, it just ruins the football game. Well, for us, it didn't ruin the football game. It made it easier for us, but for Leicester, who've travelled that distance, not very far, but the game's done for them as soon as that sending off's happened. It's game over, yeah. And I think he hasn't tried to hurt the player, and it just doesn't seem like a red card kind of challenge. But down to the laws of the game, it is a red card. So,
okay. Thanks for being non-biased on that one. Staying with you, Paul, for this one then about Stansfield also. So there's a few strikes in the first half, and you could actually see Stano's confidence was being battered. So I'm so pleased for him when he got his goal. His energy and chasing fully deserved that. And what a great finish too. And he's been getting a few, it's fair to say, maybe a few pelters, unnecessary pelters from some Blues fans, Paul, as well. Were you delighted for him just as much as he was?
Yeah, I think he always puts in the effort, doesn't he? You can never complain about the effort he puts in and the pressing he does and all that side of his game. But I think what he showed yesterday is that's his game. Give him half a chance, get him in the right places, and he takes it. Like if I was a football manager, I wouldn't want him coming to join in with the build-up and all that sort of stuff. I'd have him as high up the pitch as possible. And I'd say, I don't want you running a channel. I don't want you coming deep. I just want you around the 18-yard box. So if anything falls to you, you get that half chance to score a goal. And that's all I want to see. That's all I want you to do. We've got other players that are better at creating and setting people up. I just want you to score goals, and that is it.
Yeah. Jason, I think you said last week you were getting a bit sick of the criticism. You keep reading about him. Well, is that going to shut a few people up?
I hope so. Because he's just more than goals, isn't he, for that team? Like, there's a reason why he's the poster boy for the project and all that stuff. Like, he's our main guy, and whether he's not at it every now and then, not like every player is going to be perfect every single game. Just, yeah, I'm glad he scored. I'm glad it will shut a few people up, and hopefully people just learn. Just back him. You can have your criticisms of people, but you just back them when they're on the pitch. Because I don't know about you, Paul, some Blues fans just go for a hate watch at times. It frustrates the life out of me.
We seem to need a scapegoat every season.
Yeah,
it seems that we need somebody that we can go, it's his fault. That's his. But with Stansfield, it's easy, and it costs a lot of money. So people think, well, it costs a lot of money, so he should be scoring 100 goals a season. Like, it costs too much to. And I think that's the biggest problem. But I personally think we have paid too much money for him. We have. I think if we'd have not signed him the season we did, you'd be picking him up for a fraction of the price this season, because he won't have played for Fulham. He might have gone on loan to somewhere else for a little bit, but he wouldn't be anywhere near. They had us by the nuts, and they were like, "We're going to wring you dry for the price that you're going to pay for him."
Okay. We love reading all your comments, by the way. Last week we got well over 40 different comments on this. Jason, what was particularly directed to you? I just want to read it out because it links to my next point. JBC's 1452 says, bro, in relation to yourself, Jason, no way you said Dutch for player of the month for January. He's absolutely dreadful. It's like playing with 10 men. He does nothing. He does nothing all game. That links to some chat which we were putting to you. It's just saying, we need to see Kenya for Dutch, please, in future games. Respond.
I get the frustrations with Dutch because he's very frustrating. But the guy has scored 5 goals in January. He's picked up a couple of assists. And whether people like it or not, he's probably the most intelligent player we've got on that pitch, arguably. I don't get where this argument for Kenya keeps coming from because he's not played all season. There has got to be something that Chris Davies sees where she's like, I don't rate him. I don't get the hate for Dutch. Like he is frustrating, but whether we like it or not, he's popping up with goals, he's popping up with assists, and he seems to have got a decent relationship with Stanfield. So let's just knock it on the head, back him. And if his performances drop and he's not scoring, then yeah, fair enough. Let's have that conversation. But Kenya Fujimoto is not the answer, especially when I don't even think he's got into triple digits for minutes this season. So drop that.
I think the biggest problem is a lot of people that don't understand what happens when a player doesn't have the ball in football won't appreciate players like Dutch because he doesn't look like he's running about and he doesn't look like he's putting in loads of effort. But then when the ball does to him, most of the time something quality happens. A little flip round the corner, a little passing. He drags a defender to create space for other players and things like that. And I think that's the problem that a lot of fans don't see. Is they don't understand the little technical bits of football. They just look at, he don't score. He's not scoring many goals, or he's not running. He's not chasing. He's not doing this. But then you throw a ball up to him, it sticks to him, and he flicks it around the corner for another player to run through on goal. And I think that's the biggest problem with some football fans is they enjoy football, but they don't understand football.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what grinds me at times is like if you catch way back to near the start of the season when he was injured and he wasn't playing, we were crying out for someone to link all that play together. It was like it was like it's nearly there. The second he came in, it was just like, he looks a real player. He does. He looks a real player. He's probably not the most consistent person in the world, but you can't knock him for January and what he's done in the last couple of games as well. He's been pretty good. He might not header a ball every now and then, but if he's going to set someone up for a winning goal, or if he's going to get us like a last-minute winner against, like it looked like he was going to get the winner against Sheffield Wednesday, I'm fine with him not winning the occasional header because he'll pop up with moments of quality.
Brill. Let us know in the comments, please. Are you on Dutch's side? Is Jason and Paul wrong? Or are they absolutely spot on? And let us know. We'll leave the Leicester game there for a second. Just quickly, do you think Leicester will go down, Paul, based on what you saw, yes or no?
I don't think so. I think no. I think West Brom will fill that space.
Okay, right. And that brings us nicely to this Tuesday night, of course, against the Baggies at home again, and then Leeds on Saturday. Jason, which one of these would you sooner win?
Baggies. It's not even a question.
Yeah.
As much as I love the FA Cup, do you know we could be playing Sheffield Wednesday, Tuesday, just winning the league. Let's just keep pushing in the league.
Yeah. Do you agree, Paul?
Yeah. Unless you got a chance of winning the FA Cup, then a nice cup run. Everybody enjoys it, but the focus I want now is a nice push up the league and try and sneak into the playoffs. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Wide open for anyone to take, can't they? Yeah, JBF says this massive push for playoffs now. Come on, you Blues. Yeah, and here we are, fellas. I mean, we tweeted out earlier that, you've got your away form sorted out and, you've run a nice little roll. And we had some Blues fans comment back, Jason, saying, well, hold on a second. Let's not forget we've played Sheffield Wednesday and Oxford away and just beaten 3 very poor sides at home. So let's not get too carried away. We'll finish 10th happily and we'll build next season. Is that? That's one poster's view, but do you understand people's view when you read and see them saying, "Look, we're building this season. We'll finish 10th, 11th. I've no problem with that, and we'll go again next season with a stronger squad."
Yeah, I understand it because you don't want to get your hopes up, do you? Especially, and I've been quite vocal of this, of what the owners have voiced for most of the season, that we're going to try and go up. So, yeah, I get people saying let's just relax a little bit. And to be fair, I kind of get that in the sense of we've played Oxford, played Sheffield Wednesday. We'll see where we are when our next 2 away games come up, because we've got, I think it's Norwich away and Millwall away, and they'll be 2 toughest. So I think if we come away with decent results there, then yeah, let's have a real push and go for it. But for me, if the owners are saying that's the goal, then yeah, I'm gonna back it. Let's get playoffs. Let's do it.
Okay. You can only beat what's put in front of you, can't you? That's the way I look at it. Is they might be the poorer sides, but they're what we've got. They're who we've got to play, and you've got to go and get a result from them. And Sheffield are fighting for their life. Like there's like Leicester.
That's arguable.
There's still some quality players left in the Leicester side and things like that. I just think that you can only beat what's in front of you.
Yeah. And there's some very poor sides in this league, isn't it? We have to remember that if you are going to go up, this is probably the weakest year that the Championship has seen for a while. So yeah, it's a good chance to sneak in there. Perfect. West Brom then on Tuesday. Join us next week as we review both of those games, both Leeds and West Brom. Jason, you got a new shirt there with Sporting, I can see as well. There's been a bit of fallout on this one, I believe, as well.
Yeah, the club haven't handled it very well. It took me an hour to buy the shirt. You've had fans buying the max they could buy, then whacking it up on eBay for 500 quid. They're not fans of Birmingham City Football Club. Every sense of the manner for me, the club failed on this. It's a cracking idea what the shirt's for, and yeah, they just completely failed. Not enough stock. The system to actually buy it was shocking, and then you've got season ticket holders that have missed out. You've got general public that wanted to buy it but now can't buy it because there wasn't enough for season ticket holders. I just yeah, whoever made the decisions on from the launch to everything, it was just an absolute yeah. But I got my shirt, so I'm happy.
I saw some influencers getting little boxes delivered. I want to know why we were left off the list. I don't know why we didn't get some sent out.
Well, that's what my gripe as well. I thought we were quite well known in the influencer world now. Where's my free shirt?
Yeah, maybe a couple of years, fellas. We'll have to work on that. Right, since we last spoke to you, of course, the transfer window has slammed shut. Paul, from 1 to 10, how do you grade the business that was done in the end? Of course, Roberts signed as a permanent, which is obviously great news. You've got Panzo in, extra defender. What do you make of the month of January?
I can't fault it. I can't. We needed strengthening in the midfield, and they went and bought in Solis. We needed somebody who could be at the same sort of level as Roberts, and they bring in Vicente. You can't sort of. We needed another defender to come in and fill a space, and they've done that. You just can't knock it, can you? You just hope that they hit the ground running, and so far we have.
Yeah. What, you give it a 9 then, or an 8? Or?
Well, I'd give it a 9 because we didn't bring in Ballon d'Or winners, did we? So it can't be perfect, can it?
Okay. Jason, do you agree? 9, 8?
Yeah, on the face of it, it's a 9. I think what was more impressive as well is the quality we've brought in with the 7 players, but it's the absolute dross that we've got out as well. Like there's only, I think it was 5 players remaining from the League One squad. Like, it's quite clearly been earmarked that you lot not good enough, you've not got a future, and we've just got them out. So like, I'm very surprised Williamson went and people like that. I thought he was going to stay, but yeah, I'm very happy with it. If I'm being nitpicky, I would have liked another number 10, but I'm not going to beat around the bush too much. Right? I'm happy. 9.
I was surprised Williamson went. I thought he lived with Chris Davis and they shared a bath together and everything.
Yeah.
Okay. It's Valentine's weekend, of course, this weekend. So, of course, we're asking the question, who's the first ever Blues player that you fell in love with as a young lad? Let us know in the comments, and we'll read some out next week. Paul, who do you remember being the first one you just were devastated, when they left? Who broke your heart when it was all over?
I remember Paul Devlin was a big one when I was young. I loved Paul Devlin and that sort of team. There was a few in there that were Martin Granger and a few others. I remember Steve Bruce signing and just thinking wow, what are we doing? Like, we're signing players that have played for Man United. This is mental. And players like that. So it goes back to the 90s for me, and players from there, so early 2000s.
Jason?
I think the first player that I loved, so from when I started supporting Blues, I think Seb Larson drew me in quite quickly. I loved Barry Ferguson and of that team. Stephen Carr, what a player he was. I try and have a think of lone players that had left that I fell in love with that killed me when they left. I think the only one that could come to mind, because let's be honest, we've been crap for 10 years, was probably Austin Trusty. I thought he was real quality when we had him, and I was disappointed we couldn't get him back, but I still think there's a chance we could get him back at some point, because Scottish football's a bit tat.
Let us know in the comments. We love reading your comments out every single week. We're one of the few podcasts, I think, that just actually reads them and responds to them as well. Keith has suggested for O this week, fellas, the overhead kick Alan Buckley did against Nottingham Forest against Shilton as well. Thanks, David Edwards, who agreed with you last week, Jason, when you said give Stano a rest. And Ricky says you've got to look at Zola as one of the worst managers we've ever had as well. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, and Cranker was the worst manager for Blues from Mark Lawley as well. Great comments. Let us know who the first player you fell in love with last week.
The managers, are they all forgetting about Lee Clark?
You weren't here last week.
No, Lee Clark was absolutely by miles the worst manager we've ever had.
The only reason why I don't pick Lee Clark is because the tools he was given were, I don't even think like Pep or Fergie could make that work.
I just remember watching Paul Caddis playing in the centre of midfield and thinking, what is going on? What are we doing here?
Yeah, I think he was going a bit back crazy towards the end of it, but that was fair enough for how bad it was.
We're on to O then. As you know, if you're watching, we're doing our A to Z all the way through the alphabet. We started at A, we're up to O. So have you got a player, or are we doing the overhead kick as mentioned by our community watcher there?
Well, I wasn't even born when the overhead kick against Shilton happened, so I haven't got a clue what that goal is even like. So
okay, it sounds good then.
Martin O'Connor sticks out for me straight away.
Okay.
He was captain when I was a kid, and just absolutely old school, tough tackling, no nonsense. Division 1 when it was before it was a championship, just solid midfielder that just did his job properly.
See, they're nodding there, Jason. You beat that?
Yeah, I mean, straight away it's who came to mind for me, Martin O'Connor, and that's before I even started following Blues properly, though. That's before my time. And
Ricky Otto is the
even
other one.
I know Martin O'Connor for me.
Ricky Otto is the other one that I remember. So, but he was probably a little bit before me. I was a bit young to remember him properly, but they're the two O's that I can remember. I can't remember. And I think, was it John Gale in a Leyland Daff or the auto windscreen? I think he did an overhead kick, did he, or something? It was a good goal, and in an old Wembley, what is now the Johnston Paint or whatever it's called now, the Virtue Trophy.
Well, someone in the comments is going to hopefully correct that or nod to that. Cheers, Paul. Your vast knowledge beats us up both on that. I'll think on that one. Right, next week up to letter P. So join us for that. Should be a nice, easy one. And of course, we're going to be reviewing Leeds and the West Brom game, of course, this Tuesday night. West Brom absolutely awful at the moment, by the way, as well. Away from home, haven't won 11 away games. They've lost the previous 10 of those as well. So this should be a home banker. I'll be putting some money on it myself, so don't let me down. Okay, catch you next week. Thank you very much for watching. Do drop us a subscribe if you haven't yet done so. Great to have your company. Catch you then.